Hey guys, my name is Lydia and I do CrossFit. CrossFit is a workout program and there are CrossFit gyms, so there are gyms specifically for this type of workout program. There's usually a couple of different things involved. A CrossFit class lasts about an hour, so I show up to the class and there's a coach and there's several other people there and there's a workout that's written on the board. The first part of the workout is strength, so it's mostly just weightlifting, learning how to pick up heavy things and put it back down again. And the second part is called the WOD, that's W-O-D, and it stands for the workout of the day. And it's called CrossFit because in the WOD we do cross training. So we don't just focus on weightlifting, we also focus on working other parts of our body like our cardiovascular system, also our strength, our flexibility, our ability to do gymnastic type things. So in that WOD, that workout of the day, there's cross training. We're training over all different kinds of disciplines. I've tried a lot of different kinds of workout in my life. I used to try running, but I hated running because I would get so bored and out of breath. I used to do yoga, but I'm honestly not that good at yoga, and one time I had a friend who invited me to do CrossFit. I had always heard that CrossFit was for really strong people, just guys who were meatheads and had big muscles, and I was like, that's not me. But since she invited me, I decided to try. And I stuck with CrossFit because I learned that CrossFit is for people of all different fitness levels. There definitely are people who are really strong and really good at it, but there's also people like me who maybe I can't lift a whole ton of weight, but I can scale down and still work on becoming stronger. And the best part of it is that I get to do it with other people. So I go to CrossFit with my friends. It's not a workout that I just do on my own. It's something that I do in a class with other people to help me. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack almost every time that I work out, especially during the summer. It gets so hot and sweaty that when I'm running outside or when I'm lifting weights in the gym, sometimes I think I'm going to die. I have a couple of favorite movements when it comes to CrossFit. One of them is called a box jump, so that it's exactly what it sounds like. There are these big wooden boxes and you start on the floor and you just have to launch yourself up on the box. And it took me a while to get that down because it's a pretty high jump, but once I got it, I felt really proud of myself. And I also really like doing back squats. There are different kinds of squats, and like most people, my legs are stronger than my arms. I have better lower body strength than upper body strength, so I feel a lot cooler when I do back squats because I can lift a lot more weight with my legs than I can with my arms. My least favorite is probably a movement called thrusters. They are just the absolute worst, where you have to take the bar and you pull it up from the ground and get it on your collarbones. Then you squat to the ground, then you launch your arms back up all the way into the air and you do the same thing over and over. At first, my goal in CrossFit was to become the strongest woman on the planet. I'm kidding, not really. My goal in CrossFit is mostly just to be a healthier version of myself, to take care of my body, to get stronger, and honestly, to enjoy the community that I'm in, to enjoy the company that I'm in, and just work on my physical health, my mental health, and taking good care of my body. Once you reach a goal, you always set another goal. So like I said, one of my goals was to learn how to do a box jump. At first I couldn't do them, but once I learned how to do a box jump, I learned how to set a new goal. So the new thing that I'm working on is learning how to do a handstand push-up, which is every bit as hard as it sounds like. So even though I reached one goal, that didn't make me quit, it just made me set a new goal. There are some ways that CrossFit and my spiritual life are very similar. For one, it can be really hard work. If you don't work on your spiritual life, odds are pretty good that your spiritual life is going to be weak. Just like if I didn't work on my body, work on lifting weights, my body would be a lot weaker. It's also something that needs to be consistent. If I went to CrossFit once a week, it would still be good for me, but not as good as if I was consistent several times during the week. The same thing is true for my spiritual life. If I prayed once a week or read my Bible once a week, that would still be a good thing. But it would be better if I committed to being consistent, spending time in the Word and spending time with the Lord. It's also similar because it's a community. A spiritual life was never meant to be lived alone. We do have a relationship that's just us and God, but He gave us the church because we are supposed to be a community of believers. So just like CrossFit is a gym where I go work out with other people, my spiritual life is also something that I share with other people. And everyone is trying to help each other, strengthen each other, encourage each other, and call each other to something higher. I think that my favorite spiritual discipline has been learning how to journal and pray. I love to write, and praying is often when I feel closest to God. So sometimes when I journal and pray, I'm writing out prayers, writing out things that I need to confess, or things that I'm thanking God for, things that I'm worried about, or just glorifying God and praising Him for who He is. But another important part of that is also learning to listen, learning to just be quiet, be silent in solitude, and let God speak into my life. That's one of my favorite spiritual disciplines. One of my least favorite spiritual disciplines is learning how to be generous with my money. Sometimes we think that that's not really a spiritual discipline, giving our offering or tithing, but it actually is. The Bible calls us to tithe and to give back to God what He's given to us. And sometimes I want to have control over that. I want to say, oh, it's not really important, somebody else will give in the offering, or I don't really need to share my money, or I'm running low, I'm not sure how I'm going to pay for groceries or my bills this week, so I better hold on to this. But I've learned that when I'm generous with my money, God is always good to provide. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned about CrossFit, and I will see you guys tomorrow.